Hey everyone, and welcome back to this week's Thursday sit down chat nonsense video with myself, Tony Wisbit, on Wisbit's Random Gaming. Firstly, thank you for tuning in, and if you didn't know already by the thumbnail, today is all about the Xbox, specifically the OG Xbox. Now, I don't see the current trends anyway on YouTube. I don't see a great deal of love for the OG Xbox out there. It was a bit of a party crasher, wasn't it? It was a gate crasher to the whole console world. You know, PlayStation was ruling the roost, Nintendo was hanging in there, and Xbox just came in and done their thing. Now, I believe the OG Xbox was fairly successful, particularly in Europe and United States, most definitely. There was a lot of pop culture references around that time in movies and stuff like that, where people used to reference Xbox. Not so much now. I think we all know the reasons why. It's another video for another day. But yeah, I don't see a great deal of love for the OG Xbox. Now, myself, the OG Xbox wasn't a system that I grew up collecting or even playing a great deal, if I'm honest with you. My friends bought it, and at the time that it came out, I was quite a casual gamer. I was into a lot of other things. I was quite young, I was going out more, and I remember walking into my friend's house one day and seeing this huge box with this X slashed all over it. I'd gone round there ready to have a good night, as you do as your teens or early 20s, and play some PlayStation 2, jump on it. I saw this big Xbox thing. I thought, what on earth is that? And I spent the rest of the night mocking it. Understandably so, because it was like a brick, and seeing that control pad for the first time, I couldn't help but laugh compared to what to me at the time seemed like perfection with the PlayStation 2 controller. So yeah, I was very apprehensive, that's probably being kind, about the Xbox upon its arrival. In recent years, I've delved into it a lot more, just purely because I didn't experience it in its prime as much as I probably would have liked to, looking back. So what I want to do today, I just want to highlight my OG Xbox collection. I haven't got a great deal of games for the system, under 100, probably around about 70 odd, and I don't have what you would call many heavy hitters per se, but it's a collection that I'm always on the lookout to improve. I do love going into a CEX or an independent game shop and seeing a large stack of OG Xbox games. It always makes me pay attention. Yeah, with the PlayStation, it was something I was playing as it was in its prime, the PlayStation 2. So whilst I've got nostalgia for that, I pretty much know what I want to know about the PlayStation. There's not a great deal I need to discover from that era that I haven't already discovered. But with the Xbox, I find that's a different case, and that's why I'm really enjoying collecting for the Xbox. But without further ado, so this video doesn't go into complete over 1 hour territory, let's get into the games that I've got in the collection, and we won't spend too much time on, you know, the most basic of games. I'll just talk briefly about the games that I'm really enjoying or have enjoyed, or ones that I'm really looking forward to playing. Now, firstly, I think everyone's got the Halo series, haven't they? Halo 2, you've got to own it at the price that it goes for. What is it, £1? Now, we've recently had some big news on the franchise front for this particular game, and I'm looking forward to playing part 4. This one, Ninja Gaiden. Absolutely brilliant series of games. Very, very unforgiving. But if you stick with it, there's real enjoyment to be had in the Ninja Gaiden franchise. Next, we've got Capcom Fighting Jam. I only own this really because I like fighting games. It's a bit of a mess, this game. It has no right to exist. When you play other fighting games, you realise what was they thinking when they made Capcom Fighting Jam. But yeah, I'm still pretty pleased to own it in the collection. It's cheaper on the OG Xbox than it is on the PS2. And where I'm collecting actively for this system, probably more so than the PS2 at this period of time, that's why I opted to pick it up on the OG Xbox. Sticking with a fighting game theme, this is a game I've probably owned about 4 or 5 times, traded it in whilst its value was fairly high. But now I'm keeping it. It won't be going anywhere. Value's not very high on it, so there's no point whatsoever. And that is the Street Fighter Anniversary Collection. Now, this is a great series of games. At the time when I first got this, it was, in my opinion, the best way to play all of the games in one go. And that was around about the time that I had a 360, because this is backwards compatible as well. And the bonus thing about this, it's also got the manga Street Fighter 2 animated movie featuring on the disc, which, you know, at the time was a bit of a revelation. I'm really happy with this. Next up, we've got Sega Presents Outrun 2. Now, I've yet to play this one. But the reason I picked this one up at such a cheap price, I think I was in Islington CEX on the day, is I asked if they had a manual with it. And when they presented the manual to show me that everything was there, they also presented the Sega Outrun 2 CD. With that in mind, I had to pick it up. I've always been terrible at Outrun games. As much as I love them, I'm really, really bad at the original. I think that game probably is a huge reason what made me decide not to drive in life. It told me I'm not fit for the road. But yeah, Outrun 2, happy to have that in the collection. And you know what, I'm going to leave this out when I put the games back, and I might give this one a spin later on this week. Right, this was a gift from a friend of mine over at one of our Discords, which is the Ghetto Gang, on the Free to GG section. Great place that is, lots of friendly people in there. You get some great freebies in there, and yeah, this one was given to me free, Lego Star Wars. Mech Assault 2 Lone Wolf. Now, I'm not a huge fan of mech games, but I saw this really cheap in the Retro Giant in Romford, so picked it up. Yet to play it, so no idea. Let me know if you guys have got this one, and let me know should it get higher on my to-do list. Medal of Honor Frontline. It's Medal of Honor. Kind of got made redundant, those games, didn't they, once Call of Duty just completely kicked off. I remember this game on the PlayStation 2 used to give a lot of my friends sickness when they was playing it, motion sort of sickness. I never experienced it, but then I never really played this game in great detail. We've got Showdown, Legends of Wrestling. Now, this is a real shame. I believe this is the third in the series, after the first one, which was mediocre to the max. Second one, hugely improved. And then in the third one, they go and get the licenses. You've got Hogan in there, you've got Sting, you've got Savage Warrior, Jake the Snake, you've got Andre the Giant. The more recognisable faces, not just your territory wrestlers that, you know, a lot of people wouldn't recognise unless they was huge wrestling fans. So you've got all of them in here. You're hoping it's going to be the same as part 2. Alas, it really isn't, and has to go down as a disappointing game. Still, I love the cover art itself. It's got all the classics on it, and every now and then I will fire this one up just out of nostalgia, and then within 15 minutes I'll turn it off knowing full well I should never have bothered in the first place. Now, here's one I haven't played, Hunter the Reckoning. Now, I've watched videos on this, it doesn't look bad. Again, this might go to the top of the list today. One of the good things about doing this video today is that I'm going to pick some of these games out as I go through them and put them on my list of games to play as we move along. And this one's definitely going to be quite close to the top, along with Outrun. Now, I don't own any FIFAs on the Xbox, so I picked one up, 2005. And we've got Mad Dash. I had a go at this not too long ago. It's okay. Kind of like your go-kart type games, and Yeah, but when you've got Mario Kart sitting there and other games like Crash Bandicoot Kart Racing, kind of makes playing these games a little bit pointless. You kind of feel like you're wasting your time, and the experience just, you could be having a better time. Let's just put it that way. Great game, this one, The Thing. It's on PlayStation 2 as well. Whatever one you pick it up on, it's highly worthwhile. Brilliant film, and I'm not going to say it's one of the best games out on any system. But it's quite underrated if you ask me. It's a lot better than most film tie-ins. Brute Force, another one I haven't really played with too much. I picked it up for around about £1 when I was in, again, CEX in Islington. Same day that I bought the Outrun. And yeah, unfortunately, it just went straight on the shelf and I've yet to test it out. Should I give this one a go, or is it a load of jank? We've got Serious Sam. Now, I love the Serious Sam collection games. Got a lot of time for them. I grew up playing the Serious Sam collections in my late teens, early 20s. And I should put more time into this one. It's, if you've got a big backlog of games, then it's tough, isn't it? But yeah, this one definitely deserves a bit more love and a bit more attention from myself. True Crime New York City. Haven't played it since I purchased it, and that's because I played these games like mad when they first came out. The True Crime games on the PlayStation 2. I know what I've got here. I just wanted it for the collection. I probably won't go back to it, but this is real nostalgia for me. I used to play both of these games quite a lot, and yeah, I really enjoyed them at the time. Maybe I'll flip it on one day to see if they've aged well, but I remember enjoying both games a lot at the time of release. Area 51. It looks a good game from the videos I've watched. Never actually put it in the system. Going to go to the top of the list as well. Now, I'm actually currently playing the first game of this, The Suffering. So that's one of the reasons I haven't played part 2 here, which is The Suffering Ties That Bind. I'm really enjoying The Suffering. It's a really good game, quite action based alongside the horror. So I've got high hopes for this one once I get through the first one. Time Splitters 2, unfortunately, it's that kind of classics look. It kind of sticks out. I don't mind them too much. It's Time Splitters 2. If you know, you know. Great games. The Godfather. I think this game's brilliant myself. Personally, I think it's better than anything in the Mafia series, or at least Mafia 1. I first played this on the Xbox 360 when it came out. I absolutely loved it. Played it all the way through, done every mission, and I do aim to one day go through it again. It's about time, it's about backlog. But for me, I had a great experience with The Godfather on the 360 when it first came out. Star Wars Republic Commando. No idea about this one. A friend of the channel, James, sent me over quite a few Xbox games not too long ago. Haven't had the time to go through them. I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan. I kind of lost track of everything after episode 1 and that installment. I just didn't go any further. But yeah, I've no idea. Let me know in the comments. Should I jump on this one? We've got Dr. Muto here. I was playing this not too long ago, actually. A lot of people have told me it's a pretty good game. It doesn't seem bad on first impressions. Controls were a little bit janky, if you ask me. It suffers from that poor camera angles that a lot of games did from around about that time. But I could definitely put up with it, and it's definitely something else I'm going to be playing in the near future. A lot more in depth. We've got the Sonic Mega Collection Plus. An absolute ton of games on here. I bought this many moons ago for my son, who's a huge Sonic fan, and it was his way of playing Sonic, the original Sonic games anyway, on the 360 that I had in his bedroom at the time. So it was sort of like a gateway to play the older games. He started out on, I think it was Sonic 2 on the Mega Drive. But yeah, he's tested a load of the other games out on here, and I'll be honest with you, he probably didn't play that many of them or enjoy that many of them, specifically the Game Gear variants. They might have aged well to people like us, but to a kid, who at the time was probably around about 5 or 6, he looked at it and thought, what on earth is this mess? Can't please everyone. Then we got Blinx, the Time Sweeper. Haven't really played much of this one, if I'm honest with you. I've always been intrigued by that series of games. That's going to the top of the list. Dead or Alive 3. I love the Dead or Alive series. It got a little bit redonkulous in later years. It's always been a solid fighting game series, regardless of some of the aesthetics that you see within the franchise itself. The mechanics of a solid fighting game have always been there. That's never left the entire franchise. And yeah, I've played this quite a bit. I've played all the Dead or Alive games quite a bit. And they're always fun to pick up and play. Far Cry Instincts, great game. Star Wars Obi-Wan, similar to the last Star Wars game that I mentioned. It was sent with a bundle from a friend. Haven't had a chance, and I don't really actively pursue playing Star Wars games. Again, if you know anything about this game, is it worth playing? Let me know in the comments. You're going to help me define my list of games from top to bottom of what I'm going to play moving forward. Got Sonic Heroes. This game got a bit of a bad rap. I was talking to people recently about it, and some people were saying they didn't really like it. Me and my son played this a hell of a lot when it first, well, not when it first came out, but when I first purchased it, because I believe it's backward compatible as well, and we have it on the GameCube somewhere. We had a lot of fun with this. One of the better 3D type Sonic games, particularly from that era. It got a lot worse for the Sonic franchise before we got back to the current state we're at today. This is at the top of my list of games to play very soon, and that is Narc. I loved Narc, the arcade game, growing up. Difficult as hell. I had no idea how difficult that game was, but even now it's an absolute coin guzzler. Of course, obviously this one is going to be completely different. They're never going to release the same game, not in that day and age. But for that reason alone, this one is at the very top of the list of games that I'm going to be playing real soon. Lord of the Rings, very good series of games. A lot of movie tie-ins are no good. Lord of the Rings games, they kind of beat the system. We've got Galleon. This doesn't even look like a game, if I'm honest, that I would play. I think I picked it up real cheap in a bundle somewhere, so that's why it's in the collection. The original Halo, gotta have it. Deus Ex Invisible War. Splinter Cell, Pandora Tomorrow. I love the Splinter Cell games. Definitely time, they definitely require a bit of time to put into. But yeah, there was real competition for Solid Snake back in the day. And I would love to see the Splinter Cell series get a fresh reboot. See what they could do with it on the current gen systems. Tom Clancy's Ghost Recon, great game. Another gift that came with that bundle from my friend James, the Silent Scope Complete, which is basically, I think it's 3 games on here, the Silent Scope games. Great arcade series and a lot of fun. I was playing this when I got the collection sent over to me from my friend James. This was one of the first ones I pulled out to play. I had a great time with this one. It's very much, let's give it one more go. It's one of them games. I failed. I'm going to try again. It's difficult at times, but not to the point that it puts you off and turn the console off. It makes you want to play one more time. Anyone that's sitting on the fence about this game and you're thinking about picking it up, my advice, don't hesitate, pick it up. It's a great collection of games. Grabbed by the Goonies, I really enjoy this game. It's playable on the Series X as well, which is why I brought it back into my collection so I can play it. a lot easier to record if I ever decide to do a gameplay video as well. Simpsons Hit and Run, great game. The cover is a bit battered on this one. It was my son's first video game that he really played, and yeah, the cover got a bit battered one morning when he was trying to open it. Frustration got the better of him. I don't know. Yeah, if anyone's got a spare cover, please let me know. I'm willing to pay. WWE Raw. I believe this one is an Xbox exclusive. For a wrestling game, I don't think this one plays it badly at all. It's a little bit on the slow side, but it's not bad considering what the other consoles had at the time, which was the SmackDown series. I think this might have been Xbox's equivalent of SmackDown, trying to get their own foothold in that genre. It didn't really work out. We've got a sequel which I've yet to pick up. I did see a nice copy at Nerdbase on Saturday. Well, when I say nice copy, it was complete. But the spine was so sun faded, I couldn't bring myself to pick it up. But yeah, WWE Raw. Not as bad as you would believe it to be. Shenmue 2. I think there's enough videos out there about Shenmue. I don't really need to go into it anymore. Great game. Conker Reloaded. I bought this one, and whilst I've enjoyed playing it, it's not as good as the N64 Classic, but it still is a good game in its own right, and it's quite affordable. Project Gotham Racing, great racer, great value for money. This one is about £1 to £2 in even indie shops, CEX, Cash Converters, all them kind of shops. If you see this one and you don't own it already, trust me, drop that £1, you won't regret it. The Capcom Classics Collection, brilliant, what can I say? It's Capcom, it's got about 30 games on here or something like that from their arcade series, their arcade range. It includes Super Ghouls and Ghosts, Trojan, Mercs, Section Z, Final Fight, Forgotten Worlds, all the 1943 games, Bionic Commando. There's a load of great games on here. Sorry, 22 games to be precise. Great collection, definitely worth having in your own collection. Rocky, a fundamentally flawed boxing game that I have enjoyed unashamedly, immensely. I'm a Rocky fanboy, what can I say? Rocky Legends, same. Nothing else to say other than what I said about the first. Rainbow Six 3. I've never been a big Rainbow Six fan, so probably won't ever play this one. Again, it was a gift that came over to me, but lovely to have in the collection nevertheless. We've got the Incredible Hulk Ultimate Destruction. This game is just, if you want to pick up your control pad and just cause a bit of destruction, then yeah, this is the one to go to. It's a fun game. Not the most in-depth game you're ever going to play, but that's not always what you want, is it? Sometimes you just want to pick something up for a little while and have a bit of fun. And this game definitely could be the one you're looking for. Star Wars Battlefront. I've said what I'm going to say on the Star Wars games. I haven't got a great deal of interest in them, but yeah, if you guys can convince me otherwise, by all means, please do. Soldier of Fortune 2. Ghost Recon number 2. Good games. Far Cry Instincts Evolution. Now this one was a recent pickup. I don't see this out too often. Alien vs Predator Extinction. Picked this one up from the Retro Giant in his Brentwood branch. Shout out to Steve, shout out to Lucy, hooking me up with this one. It looks good. Steve actually told me as well, without me really asking about it, it's a good game. Definitely up there with Narc on the games that I'm going to be playing real soon. Another recent pickup that I dabbled with recently. Shout out to Retro Kev. He hooked me up. This is a beautiful, it's really mint, this copy of Project Zero 2. I played this pretty much as soon as it come through the door. Great game. Hasn't aged badly whatsoever. It's still really, really good. And this one is the director's cut. I don't know if there's any other cuts or normal ones. I've only ever seen the director's cut personally, but shout out to Kev for this one. Hooked me up a great deal for a copy that is in really, really immaculate condition. Now Kev also hooked me up with a game that I have no idea why I purchased it. I've been told it's pretty good, but I do like a bit of Fila. I'm from the 80s, and that is Fila World Tennis. Got Driver free on the OG Xbox here. This was a gift as well. Someone sent this over to me not too long ago. Many thanks for that one. I'm going to be sending you, Jordan, a game in return. We've got Oddworld, Munch's Odyssey. I've never been the biggest fan of the Oddworld games. Every single one that's come out, I've always tried them. And I know there's a good game lying somewhere underneath all of them. I've just not been able to get into it. And I'm, in all honesty, I'm not that good at them. Now this is another one, got a bad reputation or bad reviews when it come out. I don't care, I think it's brilliant. I've had a lot of fun with this, but it's probably a lot to do with myself being a fan of the franchise, that I've enjoyed this game. That definitely helps. And that's Evil Dead Regeneration. It's another one I've played on the PlayStation 2 more so than I have on the OG Xbox. And look at that, it's still got the pre-owned sticker on it from Game back in the day, 3 for 2. Who remembers those days, eh, when you had Game and Game Station selling their second-hand games? And if you look back at some of the games that we was able to pick up in that range, wow, there were some real bargains compared to what they go for these days. Anyway, Prince of Persia, Sands of Time. Now this is a really, really good game. I picked up, I think it might have been on Vinted a while back. Definitely something that took advantage of the Resident Evil games at the time and the popularity of Resident Evil, and that is Cold Fear. Now if you haven't played this one, I highly recommend it. If you like your cheesy acting, if you like your Resident Evil survival horror type games, specifically the PlayStation 1 and the PlayStation 2 era of Resident Evils, then yeah, definitely give this one a go. Cold Fear, it's not that expensive either, and I think you'll get your money's worth. Spawn Armageddon, getting quite difficult to find this one. I think I got the last copy in CEX. Unfortunately, it came without the manual, so I'm on the hunt for a manual of that one. But it doesn't come in on the OG Xbox too often, so I was quite happy to go ahead, purchase it, and look for a manual down the line. Yeah, I enjoy this game. I think it's a really good one. If you do see it, I wouldn't sit on it. Pick it up because it's getting more scarce as we go along. Def Jam Fight for New York. Definitely the best of the Def Jam series of games. It kind of went a little bit pear-shaped not long after this one. But this one is prime game. They use an engine, I believe, for these games. It was designed for the WCW games before WCW went out of business, and then EA had an engine with no use, and they came up with this great idea to put hip-hop stars in wrestling games. And yeah, the rest is history. The first 2 games they came out with, brilliant. I played them. Oh, so many hours I put into these games. Great to play with your friend as well, 2-player. Yeah, I still play this one fairly often. Silent Hill 4, The Room. I got this from CEX on a bit of a CEX lottery not too long ago, probably about a year ago. £20 compared to the PS2's version at £40. Now I want to own the majority, if not all, of the Silent Hill games one way or another. I don't mind what systems they're on. I don't really want to be paying £300-400 for Shattered Memories, so I went out and bought it on the Nintendo Wii. which is actually, from what I understand, the system it was designed to be on anyway. So yeah, happy to have this part 4. Haven't completed it yet, but it's good. It's not the best of the series by any means. It's a good game, and I'm going to finish it real soon. WrestleMania 21, not a bad wrestling game at all. Got Leisure Suit Larry here. I've never played the entire Leisure Suit Larry series. It was kind of a series that you'd play if you was more a PC gamer back in the day. Your Atari ST, your Amiga. I wasn't, and that's one of the reasons I never really got into this series. This one makes me quite tempted though. So yeah, I'm going to keep this one out. It's going to go in that mid-level pile. Not at the top, but just underneath. Crash Bandicoot, The Wrath of Cortex. Great game, it's Crash Bandicoot. Not many bad ones, especially this sort of era. The PS1, PS2, OG Xbox sort of era, all the crashes were really good value. Difficult as hell though. Mortal Kombat, Shaolin Monks. I don't mind this game. I didn't put a great deal of effort into it, if I'm totally honest. Reason being that when I got this game, it was around about the same time that I picked up Mortal Kombat 1. So I was trying to put some effort into learning that game. And just trying to play this one just seemed a little bit, it paled in comparison whilst I was playing them so close to one another. Definitely worth picking up though. It's not an expensive game and it's a good addition to anybody's library. Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb. I don't really know much about this game. Maybe I'll play this one once I finish the current Indiana Jones game that's on Game Pass. I think that's a really good game. I need to put more hours into it. It's about how many hours are in the day though. Yeah, it might leave me with a bit of a hunger, a bit of a thirst for more Indiana Jones. So if that happens, at least I've got this to go back to. Mortal Kombat Deadly Alliance. Similar to the last one, not the best in the series. A little bit mediocre if you ask me. But still a fun time, especially if you're going to be playing with 2 players. SWAT Global Strike Team, is it? Yes, Global Strike Team. Never played it. It came with a bundle that I picked up on Marketplace or something like that. And yeah, I don't really have any interest in it. It's just there in the collection if I'm going to be honest. Voodoo Vince. Now this is a fun platformer. I know there's a remastered version that you can pick up. I think it might only be download only on your Xbox and Steam. But I've only played this version and I really enjoy this game. The mechanics of it are quite good. There's a lot of originality with the game as well, if you ask me. And when I purchased this, I don't know if the price has changed somewhat. It was only £12 and it's not a game you see too often. Definitely pick up Voodoo Vince if you see it out and about. And a final game in my collection, my OG Xbox collection, Project Zero. Now I've played this game and haven't completed it, but I've got really far into it and it's brilliant. I absolutely love the Project Zero Fatal Frame series. Somebody has picked me up recently, the PS4 version, really cheap. So I'm looking forward to getting into that as well. But yeah, if you haven't actually looked at any of the Project Zero games, I highly recommend jumping into that, especially if you like horror games. Project Zero on the OG Xbox. So there you have it guys, that is my OG Xbox collection. Nothing amazing. There's definitely a lot of games on the system I still want to include, specifically the Xbox original stuff. Painkiller is on my list next. That's one of the games that I definitely want to be picking up as well. I don't own any Painkiller games in my collection, so that's high on my list of games to pick up. Yeah, guys, let me know what you think of the OG Xbox. Was it underappreciated? Was it overrated? Does it not get the love that I think it deserves for a reason? Anyway guys, thank you for watching my Thursday video. It's much appreciated. In the meantime, remember my schedule for 2025 is Monday. We're going to be doing game hunts. We're going to be hitting the shops, CEX. We're going to be hitting independent shops as well, seeing what we can pick up, showing you what's in stock, just in case you want to go to a particular branch. Also on Thursdays, we're going to do videos like this. We're going to be sitting down, chatting about gaming, showing off some collections, all that kind of things. If you guys have got any ideas on subjects you'd like to hear me talk about, by all means, feel free to send me an email. My email is in my bio, channel description, or leave a comment below. I'm always open to ideas. I need them. I can't always think of them myself, if I'm totally honest. Also, just to let you know, gameplay wise, I used to put a lot of gameplay on the channel. I've started veering away from that. I want to put all my gameplay stuff on one platform. I have started a secondary channel called Wisbits Random Gameplay. There's going to be a link in the description below. Check that one out, please. If you can show a bit of support, a bit of love, it's really appreciated, as it's definitely a work in progress, and it's definitely something that I'm building day by day. At the moment, I'm just kind of using it as an archive for my older game videos, but I really enjoy doing gameplay videos, and I don't want to put too much stuff on the one platform. I find it's a little bit busy. People won't know what to expect from my channel. It's like, am I a gameplay channel? Am I a sit down and chat channel? Am I out and about channel? So one of them had to be sacrificed, in my opinion, and go over to another channel. I'm still going to keep doing that sort of stuff. I don't care about the views it gets or anything like that. I just enjoy putting gameplay online. Anyway guys, as always, thank you for watching. Thank you for your support. And I will see you on Monday's Game Hunt. Take care for now.